Okay, so hi, greetings. Back in my back in my old lair, and it is
Oh,
now
before you
Monday.
do, Monique, and I don't want to cut off your
What
Rachel Maddow
you
monologue.
just
No,
did,
no,
you
no, no, no.
just
Just because
did.
we're gonna forget. We're gonna forget. I want to compliment you on your great new Manhattan videos earlier
And
this
did you
week.
like them?
Yes, I did like them. You see, that got your attention.
No,
And
but
they were about 9 minutes long. You would go from Hell's Kitchen to Lincoln Square, and I wanted to sing that song. You grew up right in the
I knew
subway,
you were going to say
running
that.
with
I knew that's what you were
dominator.
gonna say. Did you
And there
see
were
my one
three of
for the
them.
San Gennaro feast?
I love how you passed your old bar, McCoy's, and it was Gorilla's 50th birthday, and you didn't know about it.
No, no, actually, I went in to see if he was there.
Oh, I
Um,
love that. I know, but did you know it was his birthday?
No, no,
His
no, his
50th.
birthday was the
Okay.
next day. I had texted him saying I was out to dinner and did you wanna meet up? And he said, "Yeah, I'll be back in a little while. I'm going to a Mets game. I'll be right back." And it's like,
Uh,
you can't be just right back from a Mets game. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
it's and
it's like 3 hours.
it's like
I
a
feel like it's
15-minute
one of the
train ride.
few remaining neighborhood bars where, like Cheers, everybody truly, truly knows your name. I don't think that exists in the city anymore.
Absolutely, absolutely. And everybody greets everybody who comes in with like a big hug. No joke, John Hamm has been there a few times. There used to be a poker game that went on in the back.
Ooh,
Him
No.
and, what's that guy's name that we really like? I mean, I wanna say it's almost like the
Cranston?
name that the name that Casey uses all the time, Bobby Govanelli. What's the
Yeah,
Yeah,
guy's
yeah. Oh,
name?
Tony Danza?
No, 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 no.
Tony.
No, it's a real actor whose name sounds like that.
Oh,
His
yeah, yeah. He's on a show on HBO. I know exactly who you're talking about. He's
He's got a
fairly,
kinda deep voice.
yes,
He used to be in there all the time. So,
yes.
that's he's all
Autobot.
over.
She did see Daredevil in Hell's Kitchen. In fact, she goes to Murdoch and Nelson. That's her legal team that represents her and everything.
Well, in any case, I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody noticed my sighting of Jared Leto when I was walking to the feast. Did you notice that I
I
saw?
did not see the
If I
San
had
Gennaro
watched,
feast
if I
yet.
had
I'm
watched
still.
it, I would have. I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
that's a
course you don't
great.
watch it. You only watch things where you're included.
No, I was busy. I was kind of busy this weekend. I'm sorry.
Bobby Cannavale.
Bobby Cannavale. Thank you, Katie
That's it.
Aldana.
Thank you
That's
so
great.
much,
That sounds so much
Bobby.
like it. That's exact. But
Why Dad's 68?
What did he say? Did him No, 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 I never met I've heard that he's been there. I've never met
and so Monique, that place, Mr. Biggs, which is a Stern lore. That's where Tracy Millman dressed down Grillo, and Grillo used to work there. Isn't there a famous story about the Westies? The Irish mob would
It's
bury
that old.
bodies in the. Okay, it
Yeah,
is
it's
okay.
actually that old. That bar
Holy
is that
crap.
old. Yeah, that bar is that old. And apparently they found some shit in the basement there one time. I'll have to ask
Yeah, yeah,
Girl.
yeah. The Westies, right? That right.
Then that's how they found out that it was like a hiding spot, like when they were like running from the cops and shit like that. It was kind of crazy.
I don't know if you knew that the movie Sleepers is all set in your hood. It's a whole thing is about Hell's Kitchen of those
No,
times. Yeah,
I
go
don't
watch
think
the
I
movie
saw it.
Sleepers, please.
I don't think I saw it. All right, so greetings everybody. So yet again, welcome to Monday, September 19th. And today's show was just full of absolutely nothing as usual. And so
No. It was less full of nothing. It was more full of nothing than usual. This
it
was literally
was
the show of nothing. It
yeah,
was all repeats.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it was worse than some other shows that we have said are probably the worst shows we've ever heard.
Mm,
That's
I'm
not
still trying to
saying
mm.
it.
figure out why it needs to be live on any level. I don't think the
I don't think
live
there's so.
element of
It almost
radio
didn't seem like it
benefits this.
was.
It doesn't need to be. I mean, they might as well just pretend, just pre-tape it, just pack them away. Record three of them in the same day and do what his fantasy is. Whatever every game show host does, where they record like 5 episodes of Jeopardy and
I
then
find it
have
hard to
off for the rest
believe
of the week.
that they are all recorded live. I find it hard to believe that
It
that's
can't be. It can't be.
the
There's no
thing.
reason to be.
Unless something happened the day before and he mentions it on air, we would have no
Yeah.
way of knowing.
Yeah, I mean today they talked about the Queen's funeral, but it really wasn't anything you know, I mean,
Of
specific.
note.
It was
I mean, I love that they
Yeah.
talked about the Queen today, considering the fact that he railed all fucking week about the fact
Yeah.
that they were talking about the Queen too much. So he's the one sitting there talking about
well,
the
he
Queen.
does it all the time because he's an idiot.
It's kind of shocking to me, and I'm gonna start with like some early clips. You
Let's
know,
start the show.
well, yeah. So, Xavier may pop on at some point in the future. He was having some issues with with his computer, so he's not with us for the intro. So let me start this, and then let's talk about it just really, really quickly. Okay, here we go.
This is very exciting.
For the first time, Howard welcomes Emmy-winning actor John Hamm.
I read that John Hamm, the actor, is a big fan of our show.
Really?
Yeah. It was in an article.
They asked him to pick his 4 favorite presets, and Howard 100 was one of them.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a really quick second, and let me just clue you into this because it's really kind of shocking to me. So hang on, let me get there.
I found that clip.
Okay, I
Yeah.
searched for this. Okay, I searched for this so that you could all see that the presets, okay,
Mhm.
were from May 11th of 2014.
Bingo.
Okay.
And
Seven-
two of the stations don't exist anymore.
7 years ago. Now Alt Nation's there, and so is Sirius XMU.
What's Outlaw
I thought-
Country?
Is
That's
Outlaw Country still there?
I've never listened to that.
I don't. I wouldn't know.
So
I
of
know it sounds
course-
obvious. It should be country music, but I'm not sure. Is it some clever name for?
No, it's country
something
music.
else.
It's
Okay.
just bad boy country music.
I don't even know
Okay.
what that means, but okay, let's run with it. So this
Johnny
was
Cash.
May 11th, 2014. This is actually from
It's
Facebook,
eight
which is
eight
where I
years
got
ago.
this from.
Look at Tim Sullivan, money.
Let
Look
me
at Tim
come back.
Sullivan.
Let me
For
come
once,
back.
the Jew wants ham.
That's Ham with 2 M's.
It's
8 years old. 8
Christmas
years
ham.
old.
Hanukkah
Wow.
ham.
So okay, so he said that his 4 favorite presets, and he was one of them 7 years ago.
8.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right, 8 years ago. And so who's going to take credit for getting him in? Like, tell me that Gary tried for 8 years to get a John Hammond. Like, seriously, how does this work? How does this work?
Monique, I said this
Yes.
last time. I had the full clip from that year. Exactly right. What that year is, that I'm so impressed you found that on your own. And then so later on, Dennis, you might remember this. Might be a year later. Ham is in Sirius again. He gets interviewed by I think John Lieberman, and he's like, "What is with this show? He's off all the time. I can't get on here. Every time I come here, it doesn't matter what week, it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, it doesn't matter what time of day. He's always on vacation. I can't get on this show. I
Please
give up."
hold and let me play that clip for you
Yeah.
so that you don't have to
Yes.
remember it from memory.
Yes.
I read that John Hamm, the actor, is a big fan of our show.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody said that to me.
Madman.
It was in an article I read.
What
Howard,
did you say?
What?
I know they did a thing. He was up at Sirius on Friday. He wanted to do our show, but we weren't here. And they asked him to pick his 4 favorite presets,
That's where that
and
clip
Howard
comes from.
100 was one of them.
Wow.
Jesus
There
Christ.
you go. For those
8
of you who are
years old.
fans of Mad Men, which I haven't watched yet,
You
maybe
never did.
He still
It's
hasn't
just too
watched.
highbrow.
he's a fan of mine. He probably likes that I don't watch the show. But I will watch it because everyone recommends it to me, but I'll watch it in bulk, you know.
Yeah, you'll binge.
He also admitted that he cried when he watched Frozen. And that his huge cock was soaked with tears. So anyway, John, big shout out. Thank you for
The worst
mentioning
penis
channels
joke
in your
ever.
article.
Wow, that's horrible.
That's such a Benji joke. It's the worst, sloppiest penis joke. I blame Benji a lot for the ruination of the show. Dennis, we talk
No,
about this
no,
all-
no, no.
I do, because there is a noticeable difference. The Jackie dialogue and Benji just writing him regular dialogue.
He doesn't have to read it though. He
He
doesn't.
doesn't-
He
it
chooses
starts
to
and
read
ends.
it.
Just
He
such a-
chooses in that moment to think that it's funny and read it.
It
You know,
starts
and
and ends with Howard.
Benji's the
That's
only
it.
one
I
throwing
haven't
shit.
laughed at anything he said since Jackie was there. It seems like it's a slight exaggeration, but
Yeah. Yeah. Howard 101 is like ESPN 3 at 2 a.m. Hopefully
like David's watching ESPN.
No,
I don't even
no.
know.
Clog dancing is still more exciting than that show today. 100,
But it's funny.
100%.
the John Hamm thing is strikingly similar to Bryan Cranston. Howard wouldn't
Am
have
I wait,
Bryan
hold on,
Cranston
time out. Am I clicking? Do I
little bit.
do I sound like oh, you know what?
Super Trooper says I'm low, Dennis is medium, and you're
That means I'm just right,
yeah,
like the Three
you're always
Bears.
just right, Dennis. You're
all right,
always.
hold on. Let's see.
Well, tonight I am.
It's usually good.
Let me just do something right here, right now. Adjust mic volumes. Give me a second. Let's see. Yeah, I'm back in my lair and I think I'm having some issues. So let's automatically adjust our volumes. Here comes Mr. X. Hey.
Hey, hello from Mozilla Firefox.
Oh.
We should all do Mozilla.
Greetings, Greetings.
I woke up with Chrome not allowing me to, like it didn't see the mic or anything, so whatever.
Oh, that's kind of weird. Oh, check it. I auditioned for Mad Men 3 times and never booked it.
Wow. What was the role? Peggy Draper or Christina Hendricks?
Big titted redhead? Exactly.
Yeah. I was out double D'd by Christina Hendricks.
Ah, Jesus. All right. So I was having some sound problems, Xavier. So
shocking.
Yes.
Every show.
I thought you were trying to. It was like the first. I thought you were trying to contact like Charlize Theron with the clicking.
Every always
oh.
Okay.
Thank you, King Cap.
We
enjoy having you.
While we're at it, should I play the John Hamm Thinks Howard show is for fourth graders? I kind of like that.
Yeah. So I found this. I was on this podcast binge thing where I was just so Artie's Pete Holmes from Crashing has a podcast called You Made It Weird, and I saw Ham on. I'm like, Ham's an interesting guy. I kind of like him. Listen to it, and he takes this weird shot at Howard. This is 10 years ago. So I think he had been rejected from the show, and he admits to listen. He said the show is basically for idiots in a very nice way.
It's kind of insulting to idiots, don't you think?
So the interviews
very much.
Apparently my sound sounds like shit.
Fourth graders. He calls
it does not sound like shit.
You sound fine.
You sound just fine.
I sound like shit. So unless they're on time delay.
Fucking all these audio engineers in our fucking chat room.
Yeah.
If I'm single?
No. Do people ask that annoying question? Like, do you ever wish that you were single? That oddness.
No. I mean, people have asked really annoying things, and in a kind of trying to be funny way, I guess.
Right.
And it's kind of like, well, yeah, that's not cool.
It seems like if he did Stern, that's what he would ask. And I love Stern,
and I do too. And that's and I actually my favorite part of the Howard Stern show is the interviews. Like he listens. He actually does listen, and he'll call you out on bullshit if he thinks you're dodging and you're evading or whatever.
No, he doesn't.
The part I like about Stern is this sort of just reliance on prurience, which is just like, okay, it just feels like it's going into like fourth grade mode all the time, and it's like it's better for me at least, and I know he has an audience and he has a huge audience that get into that, but
no, he doesn't.
Better for me when he's just actually having a conversation.
Okay, enough for you. You pump.
Wow.
Swing and a miss.
Fourth grade mode is interesting. I agree with that.
Did John Hamm think that he was such a great interview, and when he did the amateur psychology exam on him this morning about his mother? I mean, for 20 minutes.
We will swing back to the Ham show a little bit later. Xavier, what you missed is that at the opening of the show, they were playing a clip of Gary saying that John Hamm had listed the Howard Stern show as one of his top 4 presets on his Sirius. Look at the date. It's from 2014. It was from 8 years ago. And they're so proud of themselves that finally, after 8 years, they got John Hamm into well, I don't know where he was, actually. I don't know where he interviewed from, to be honest with you. I don't know if he was in the city. I don't know if he was on a Zoom call. I have no idea. If anybody knows, let us know.
Wait.
He said it was 4:30 in the morning. I do remember here saying, so it had to be LA.
4:30?
Yeah, he slipped it in. He goes, he's like, I don't know how you do this.
The math doesn't add up.
Yeah,
he might, unless he's in LA, it does.
No, it doesn't, because he came on at 9.
No, he woke up at 4:30.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to.
I'm up at 4:30 to get ready for this kind of thing.
Xavier, what?
If he was top 4, who were the 3 above him?
Here, right there. Look, Alt Nation, Outlaw Country, and Sirius XMU.
Oh, okay. That's
Do you not see the
Fucking-
graphic? The
Sorry, I
graphic
wasn't
on
paying
screen.
attention. Huh? I'm watching Monday Night Football. I'll be
Oh,
honest.
Oh, jeez.
and this was on Facebook, just so you know. So that's where John
Facebook.
came from. Yeah,
Who is his top 8 on MySpace?
I dug deep for that. All right, so let's get into the show a little bit. So he started talking about the Queen and gets into John Hamm is not relevant anymore. He's on the Geico commercials or whatever.
He is flirting with Flo from fucking
he's in
those
Fletch,
progressive
Monique.
commercials. Where the fuck
He's
it is.
going to do a reboot of Fletch.
But this is what I'm talking about with the cold Chinese food and the cold pizza. He has John Hamm on now. Now, 2022 is the first time. He can't. Somehow Gary can't book him for 8 years. He can't figure out a way to get him in. It was the same shit with Cranston. Cranston comes on in the 5th season of Breaking Bad. He turns him down because he's too stupid to watch it. The show is too highbrow for fucking the world's oldest teenager. So he just gets around to having Cranston on in the 5th season of Breaking Bad.
Yeah. He was too enthralled with Malcolm in the Middle to notice Breaking Bad.
Well, he never watched Mad Men, and he admitted when he was announcing him as being on the show last week.
And he didn't watch Breaking Bad till season 5.
I don't know that I believe that he watched it.
I don't think he watched it either.
So
I think you're right.
He never watched Seinfeld or Larry David show.
He
watching
could
the Bills game and someone
he
else.
could never comprehend like Mad Men or Breaking Bad. He honestly can't. He mentally cannot keep track of stuff like that.
And it's his ear too.
You know what it is though? It's like guys like him. If it's the shit's not about him, he's incapable of focusing on it.
True. Yeah. He doesn't relate to anything, whether it's his audience or them. He really is one of the most unrelatable humans I've ever seen.
It'll be interesting if he does do like a little Larry King-ish cameo on the Doctor Doom Fantastic Four thing. And then he won't shut the fuck up over it. You know how like
another shit movie from the MCU
for like decades, every time they needed a guy talk radio, it would always be like a quick flash to a Larry King because he would do anything, no matter what the movie was.
We did a show on that. We did a show on
I'm
the stuff he's gotten offered. He claims he
I'm assuming if Howard did do anything Marvel related, it'll literally be a cut to some guy, a radio guy talking about the traffic or something.
You know what? No, he wouldn't take that role. He
turns all that down.
I don't know.
No, he claims he turns it all down. So anytime there's a radio cameo, he claims he got offered it first, no matter who it is.
Exactly.
We did a show on that with Transformers and all that stuff.
Yeah, the absurdity of it all is really just fucking laughable at this
point. We're going to come back to that. Can we swing back to the Marvel thing?
You can swing back wherever you want.
Can we talk about the Queen just for a quick second? The Queen.
Yes, please. Oh, you mean the guy who had a tantrum last week about too much Queen coverage is now fucking...
Yes, that guy.
He's talking about the Queen himself.
That guy.
And so they're livid with him. So they on TV on this funeral. I watched a few minutes of it. I mean, I don't have all day. Just watching the body being brought into the big church and the slow steps.
Sister Abby.
So I don't have all day. So that's what I listened to while I was falling back asleep this morning. Was them rolling the body in? So it had to be at like 5:30 this morning. He's throwing on the Queen. Like this is what he's doing with his morning.
Well, we all reacted to I don't have all day. I had the same reaction. You have more free time than any 10 people I know.
Exactly, John. When he says I don't have all day, that's all he does. All he has is time.
Yes.
Even on a work day, he has all day.
Exactly.
Previously, he was going to the studio. Maybe what do you think he lost? About maybe an hour and a half by going because he lives 10 streets away. Now he has 2 more hours free time to his day because he's doing the show from home.
Oh, actually 3 because remember the show ends an hour earlier,
and he doesn't do the nap.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, it ends at 10:30 now. If you're lucky, it gets that late.
Okay, yes, Dennis. I had an observation because when I was looking for today on the app. So this is the only guy. You talk about the power he has at this chat. He is the only guy that his show varies an hour from day to day. So the Wednesday show from last week was barely over 3 hours, and today's was 4.
Right.
What show can vary an hour each? He could do whatever he wants on these 2 stupid channels.
He can do whatever he wants.
Right. That's when you get a partner.
All right, I'm going to
hardest working man in show business.
finishing the
Yeah.
Queen. Read what Clitoris wrote on the
Of the
Clitoris.
soldiers who carry her body, Maron. I mean, you go out of your mind. It's like, oy
That
vey,
must be a Jewish
and they
term.
got the music, and then they flash to the chorus. There's a choir, beautiful choir, high voices. You assume they're women. You look over.
Nobody assumes they're women.
Only you
Everybody
do.
knows they're men. Everybody.
Boys. They're boys.
Boys. The whole world knows
Is a
this.
priest in a gown. You know, if you know what I
Well,
mean.
he's not.
It's not a gown.
Church of England. Is he called a priest? I don't.
I
think
don't
so.
know what he's called, but it gives me the heebie-jeebies when I see these young
The guy
boys
who's been on drag how
and
many
they're
times?
just little girls.
Do you hear what he's saying? Do you hear this conversation?
Yeah,
Yes, it's such
and-
bullshit.
Oh, but
Did he forget he was on Letterman in drag?
you see these young boys singing, and they're dressed up like little girls.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
He's always
No.
one step away from
No,
Epstein
they're wearing-
Island.
Wearing robes. They're wearing robes, dude. Dude, seriously.
I really wasn't.
Jesus
I
Christ.
wasn't really understanding why he said that. Like
That's what he's fixated on. All the things you could watch
'Cause
during this
he's fixed- yeah.
sprawling coverage. He's fixated on this. This is the only
Yes.
thing he notices. That's the where his mind goes.
Yeah.
The mind of
Yeah.
Epstein.
Wait, guys, you know we're only a couple of weeks away from fucking doing choir boy agent calling in.
No, God, please no.
It'll
Please
be
don't. No.
it'll be like the
No.
Miley Brown stuff. Like he sexualizes the kids and then oh I thought they were women.
Hello, this is Nambla.
Exactly. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Be brave, and above all, be proud to be a boy lover.
I haven't played that in a while.
Isn't it amazing
Yeah.
how we laugh at that?
Shocking.
It's just molesting
You know
young
what?
boys. Nambla. We all laugh at it.
That's
We're
the
all
one
guilty of
thing he's focusing on. Is it's just so creepy.
Yeah, that's just
so
creepy as shit.
creepy. It was really,
It was
really
creepy.
creepy. Another creepy moment in today's show, which everybody commented on both on Twitter and on our feed at RadioGunk, was this little gem. Okay, so he started talking about his mother again, and you know he's getting that built up hostility he was having towards his father when his father was an end of days, right?
fake hostility.
So he starts to become this kind of angry guy who still has to deal with figuring out what his mother's wants and needs are. So he repeated a story about getting her a new TV. It's the exact same story except with more details. Hence the reason I didn't cut the clip, because he's talking about how he got her like this giant TV and a big speaker right next to her head so that she could listen to it, and that she then called him and told him that she couldn't run the TV because she didn't understand.
So actually, all right. So the difference between this telling of the story this week and the telling of the story last week is that when he did the TV last week and he gave it to his mother, everything was fine. She was able to use the remote control as soon as she got it, and she could hear everything perfectly clear as soon as she got it. That actually did happen last week. It did actually work perfectly. Today, all of a sudden, the same story. The TV doesn't work right, and she can't hear. And now there's the blue light that did not exist last week in the story. Now suddenly magically appears.
Right. So Howard then
Yeah.
pulls in two people that work for him. Ergo, I'm sure it's one of the 70 in the back office.
Matt
So-
He called Samsung.
Yeah,
He knows
exactly.
Samsung.
The
The
wacky-
president of
wacky-
Samsung.
It's Matt and
CEO
Jeff, the
came to
wacky
his
morning
mother's
team
house.
from York, Pennsylvania.
What, and Jeff?
Rochester. I mean, it's Matt
Who
and
is it?
Jeff. Matt and
Matt and
Jeff. That's his AV team. That's which we found out from an old clip that he and Robin have audio video people on their payroll.
Jesus Christ.
And it shows. It shows.
It does.
Yeah.
With their 2-camera setup in his office that they can switch.
His dungeon. His
It's
fucking dungeon.
really pathetic. But while he was telling the story, he also started to talk about how she's really not eating that much anymore, and you know she just wants to die, and And so he says this little bon mot. Here we go.
She hates the food where she is. I go, Mom, what do you think about eating? I like guacamole. Okay. So what about I make you a nice English muffin? I mean, English muffins have a lot of sodium, but what are you going to do? I mean, she's an old bag who isn't eating.
She's an old bag who isn't
old bag
who isn't eating.
What happened? What happened to the people he was complaining about that he has to pay to be next to her?
Yeah, he's not making any English muffins. This wasn't him
Exactly.
doing it.
She's got like fucking like what 3-4 people loitering over her.
She's got staff.
Easily.
I'll go as far as I don't think it's him talking to her handlers and anybody at the assisted living. I don't think he. I think he has middle people doing that. I don't even think. I think Ashley's
Absolutely.
speaking. I don't even think. There's no way he's speaking to a civilian
That
on a
could
regular
very
basis.
well be a story that Ashley told him.
Yes,
Not
that's how he works.
Exactly.
That's how he works. That's where he gets his
He
anecdotes.
steals
from
other
other-
people's experiences and makes it his own.
100% correct.
But what I feel like what's happening is like I feel like he has a pad in front of him where he has made notes throughout the course of the week of things that he's going to talk about, and he's starting to forget to check it off or
Yes,
cross it out
definitely.
because he's doing a lot of repeat stuff. It's been kind of weird. I mean, the fucking EpiPen thing really just did not. It was the same story, the same context, the same walk in the morning, everything.
So
No new
you're
life
saying it's not
experiences.
aging well? It's the
I think
story's
it's
not aging well at
hysterical.
all.
Oh, it's
He has no new life experiences, and the ones he does have, he's afraid to talk about because he doesn't want to let us plebeians in on the 1%er life. So that's the show you're getting, is a serial liar who can't, and it's all euphemisms and bad pronouns and this guy and I know a guy, and he can't.
Yeah, you're right, Canada. My father-in-law is in a very top-rated, very expensive retirement home. Everyone there complains about the food. They have nothing else to talk about, just like Howard. It's true. I mean, listen, and I think she's at end times. Honestly, I think she's going to go. I think she's going to go fairly quickly now that
She won't make it to 2023.
We'll see.
No. I
She
don't
won't.
think she makes it to the holidays.
won't.
I honestly don't think she makes it to the holidays.
Yeah,
It sounds pretty close.
Did we ever find out what the Queen died of? I was just curious while I was watching it
She was
before.
fucking 96. Does it matter?
I don't care what she died of. I'm just curious if there was like a thing, or did she
But Howard's
just
cousin Stacy, or who? Queen? Who's the queen?
which Queen? She just died. Just died. So, as a segue from that, John had pulled some clips about the TV installation.
Yeah.
thing,
So
which
I'm
I
just,
love.
and I'm sure you guys were equally annoyed as I
Trying
was.
to intersplice some of the John
Every
clips
time
into the show.
technology comes up on the Stern family watches the most amount of hours of TV with the most TV problems. There's never a time, and I'm going back decades. There's no TV this guy can buy that ever works. It's always a huge ordeal. We need
Everything's
5
an issue.
people, sound systems, but he won't tell you what's really happening. Like, he has this crazy over the top sound system put in, and he's acting like he's putting in like a 42-inch Philips TV. And every
But
time
it's
this
not even
television,
just the TV. It's he can't get movies.
he can't turn it
that
on. He
Screeners.
can't get
He can't put the
yes.
screeners on. He can't
Yes.
get his shit together.
Right. Direct
It's
TV
always a
won't.
problem. And
Yep.
I gotta believe that he is down now to just like watching shit on his iPad. Because he's always admitted that he'll watch.
Oh, is there anything worse
shows
than
in
him
bed.
watching a Marvel movie on a fucking mini iPad?
I know it's
The
pretty
stupid
you know, you
rigor
guys are.
mortis fingers.
You're
Well,
right. I mean, when he got that gigantic, like $10 million TV put in his apartment, it never worked. When he got the projector, it always overheated.
That's what
It's
we're talking
always
about.
the same
It's
shit.
always
Always the
technology
same shit.
never.
Like, woe is
It's
me.
He's a
You know what the best part
technological
about it is,
victim.
though? The best part about it is that all that shit he put in is so old now. Like it's so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just and him and Gary both admitted to still using TiVos. Meanwhile, if you're like on YouTube TV, it's like
Yeah,
unlimited file. I mean,
unlimited DVR.
They use TiVo still?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Dude.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
I don't doubt it.
Gary probably not anymore since he sold his house, but yeah, they were both still on the TiVo wave.
I think he had a payola thing going with TiVo too for a while.
It could
he
be.
brought it up all
My
the
whole
time.
point is that
Still.
Yep.
I don't think Howard even has new technology in his. I think I have a better TV. Xavier, certainly you have a better TV than he does in either of his places now. Everything he's done now is like super fucking dated.
So he probably still doesn't have like YouTube TV or something like that. He still probably uses like cable, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. We love Savior. All right, so let's play a little bit of the TV.
He's
Some,
gonna go look at
Do
the
you want,
TV, the
do you want
football
to
game on his
start with
TV set.
the year it was?
are we talking about the $9,000 TV
That's later
or
on.
Howard's 100-inch?
Howard's 100-inch TV. This is the year 2000. And he has a 100-inch TV. Now this is when he was
On
I
that
know you're gonna do that.
100-inch TV.
This is the year exactly. This is the year 2000, and this is when the show was transparent. They actually talked about stuff that was going on in their lives, and they were fairly honest about. And this is the thing we complain. If he actually owned the 1%er life, it would be the most interesting thing in the world. But this is when he kind of did it. It's almost like he was showing off for his kids because this is the Allison smear campaign years. So this is like 2000, and he's bragging about now. Robin is a home theater at this point. I just found this today. I'd never heard this clip before. This is Robin is a home theater.
All right, here we go.
Mine.
But is his chair in the screening room?
His chair is in front of his big TV. Yeah.
Oh, so he has a screening room too.
Well, he doesn't have a screening room. He has a room.
Right.
Has a big TV.
So how many chairs do you have in your screening room that vibrate?
2.
Oh, 2. So he sits and gets vibrated while you get vibrated.
They hold hands.
Damn, that's living.
Are they in sync?
What if you blow a fuse?
We have sex. You go change it.
That must be. I'm trying to picture Robin.
You gotta go there. Please.
I see an animated feature. I see you in that vibrating chair next to the boyfriend.
They make the remote control.
Oh yeah, the remote control.
Your house is like the Jetsons.
Look who's talking over there. You got some nerve. You
I don't have the vibrate. Oh, you got to hear this one. So I put in this TV screen, like it comes out of the ceiling in the living room.
It's a movie screen.
The goddamn thing.
I'm just pausing it for effect because it's too long of a clip to just kind of let it just keep rambling on and on. I would love somebody to look up how much a 100-inch screen TV. It wasn't even just a projector. Was it a projector or was it?
Both. It's both. I think it's both. Comes out of the ceiling. And Dennis, you remember Chris Rock referenced it once, and Howard to shut it down.
Yeah,
when he had Chris Rock over to hang out, and Chris Rock, you got a ridiculous TV set.
Yeah.
All right, let's play.
Has it worked? I have people over had my niece over. She wanted to see Sex in the City. So I said, all right, and I can show it to you. I rolled down the big screen. Goddamn thing never works. I called the guy.
About?
He tells me it's a heating issue. I said, listen, I'm about a week away from getting on the air and bad-mouthing your business.
Wait a minute. Where do you have your projector?
It's in the.
Oh, it is a projector. See, it's not.
But it was the original. It was the original, like the TV projector. It was a little higher definition. That was that whole thing then.
Right.
That's how they can make something big back then.
It pulls down from the
It's
ceiling.
descending from the ceiling.
So
yeah,
I
so the screen comes down from the ceiling, and he had the projector.
A giant projector that had the 3 colors in it, right? That one? Yeah, I'm sure.
Is this the rear projector? Is this the rear projector?
Yes,
style?
Yes, it might be a heat issue. Yeah.
I had to have fans
put in to
because I had that same problem.
See, now I got to see, but they should know that.
Yeah, but
that sound of his voice is so nasal and whiny.
I know. I just want you to just take, because Robin slips in here something you'll never hear today, that they both have AV people. They have hired on the payroll audio video people that do all the shit for them. And you never hear anything like this anymore.
David, I have on the screen your comment about Oprah doing nothing but flaunt her lifestyle, and I do want to talk about that. So as soon as we're done with this clip, I want to talk about that.
They don't until it cuts off on you several times.
Okay.
And then once they put those fans in, took care of everything.
Like air conditioning or fans?
It was some kind of fans they put in to relieve the heat in the
That's
box.
a bigger money investment for me.
Of course, always. You want it to work? You got to pay more.
Damn.
But I'm telling you, the fans take care of the problem.
Oh, I'm going to take the whole thing, throw it out the window. That's going to take care of the problem.
No, then you have no TV.
I'm going to take all the guys that are working on it and throw them out the window with the TV, and then I'll be fine.
But I had that exact same problem all over and then not play.
Yeah. Nothing more embarrassing than putting in a bunch of equipment.
Yeah, look at my great equipment. Your screen descends and then it doesn't work.
No picture.
Right. When a screen descends, if you don't have a picture, it looks bad.
Yeah. It looks bad.
One thing is the TV doesn't turn on.
So goddamn embarrassing.
The screens descend, the shades go down, and then it doesn't work.
Yeah, and you go, hey, check out my new toy. And then it's over.
Right.
Oh, fuck yourselves, all of you.
Wow.
Seriously. David, you are 1000% right. So he writes, Oprah does nothing but flaunt her lifestyle, and it hasn't made her seem out of touch to her housewife fans. Why would it be any different? Why would it be different without? You're absolutely right about that. I mean, the Kardashians will show off their new Bugatti or their that they custom painted all of their cars like the same color as their homes. I mean, all the hold on, Dennis. And people love it. Like they worship the pictures that they take. And there was this one with Kylie and the guy that she's with, whatever, the baby daddy, and they're standing right next to their private jets, and they're like, oh, we just don't know which one to take, his or mine. And people thrive on that shit. And but Howard can never be that person. Like he can't.
It's not out of modesty.
Howard,
Go ahead, Dennis.
Howard backed himself into a corner with this. Remember, because his entire act, which he cannot, that one part he's never changed, is that he's just a normal working guy. Even though he never grew up in a normal working household, never had a struggle like a normal working person, but he always wanted to be perceived in his mind, because he isn't really, to be that average guy, which he is not. He's far from it. But he's backed himself in that corner. That's why he can't, in his mind, he can't do that, because he thinks that he's still fooling people.
I think he's so elitist.
That though, he can't. Everybody knows where he lives. Everybody knows
that's
does.
This is a guy that says that he's worried about repairmen coming over because they'll charge him more if they found out that it was his stuff. I mean, he still friggin' thinks that like nobody knows where he lives or how much money he makes.
No.
Well, he
can't be that much in a bubble. He just can't be.
He is.
He is patronizing enough to think he's fooling you and to think. I mean, that's right. You could say what you will about the Kardashians, say what you will about Oprah. They're not. They know they're rich and they own it. He thinks we're plebeians and we don't deserve to know. And you all paid for this. All the stilettos you bought and the fucking lifetime subscription to Sirius, you paid for this.
$86 a week.
It's right. $86 a week. He was making six figures by the time he was what, Dennis? 27? He was already making $100,000 a year.
Yes.
At a time when that went a lot longer of a way.
I remember my first boss ever. He the company was based out of California, so we used to have to go out to LA all the time, right? And so we're out there. Hi, welcome back.
From Android Land.
Oh, so sorry. So we're just talking about Howard and his 100-inch descending TV. Do you remember this back in like how long ago?
I do.
2000.
I do, and they had to bring it up the freight elevator because it was so huge. And it was like one of these giant like plasmas or something. The one that dropped down
from the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So that was a projection TV, we're thinking, and it was 100 inches.
Yeah, it always kept on overheating. He always complained that it was
exactly right. That was a clip.
That's exactly what we're talking about right now. And so then he's comparing with Robin, who's saying that she also has a very large TV, but they had to put in like these extra fans. Her AV team had to put in these extra fans so that it wouldn't overheat for her. And she didn't understand why he didn't have that. I mean, it's just very pretentious. So then we've got
it just shows that they have antiquated equipment.
Oh, that's what I was just saying. I was just saying that the funny thing about all the shit that they have is that it's now so old. Like I said, I probably have a better TV than they do, and you certainly have a better system than they do. But Howard for sure still has like old shit. That's why he can't get anything working. Yeah. That's probably why he can't get anything working. Now that I think about it, he is a sucker. He's always been. He knows.
You know what? Can you imagine how happy the guys who work on commission are whenever he walks in?
Oh my God. Absolutely. It's like your mother wants salmon. Well, they're going to give it like the most expensive thing on the fucking menu, knowing that the 86-year-old's not going to eat it. I mean, it's pathetic. It's actually pathetic. So the other clip that goes with this one is the $9,000 TV.
well, you know this story, Monique. I think you like. I think this is one of your favorite. So this is when, and you know a lot about this. This is the addition of the third penthouse. So this is when all that construction shit's. And by the way, this is Artie's last week on the show. He's actually not on this show. He's already cut out. So his last show was 2 shows before this.
So this is 09?
This is 09. This is the Christmas, December 16th of 2009, and he's having the third penthouse extended onto it, and he's complaining about the construction all the time, and there's 20 people in the house, and so he has another version of this now put in, the whole $9,000 TV mounting thing we always
but I'm
talk
saying
about.
you were made to make
Here's the thing.
Sorry. Go ahead.
The thing is, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Try not to be so excited, Dennis. They had he had the old school projectors on there that use these Xeon bulbs that get excruciatingly hot. And from his description on air, he wanted it to be behind a wall, so he didn't see the projector. So it's like
Exactly
like
right.
an old.
Did we lose him?
X.
Hello. Okay.
No, but Monique, what I want to say is,
yeah.
Hang on.
He knows
Oh,
this
there it
clip
is.
very
Hold on.
well, because what we didn't play, that's exactly what he says about the construction behind the wall, and it's verbatim. It's pretty amazing. He remembers that.
Oh, hey,
I just
Xavier,
listened to it.
are you still there?
No. You know what? I was on Wi-Fi, and I just switched it over.
You were on your neighbor's.
So
Wi-Fi.
basically, he had them build that projector inside a place where it had no ventilation. So it's
my
just going to
God.
become like this. It's like the surface of the sun. And he complained that it always would overheat.
Guaranteed he still has that fucking TV. I guarantee.
But if you're always
No,
cold, shouldn't you like
absolutely.
that?
Yeah.
What's
that'd
a Xeon bulb, X? Is that a bulb that hates jet?
You know,
fuel?
it's but they used to, before. This is before like shit was like HD. We're talking about like fucking
it's
like just standard old definition projector, more likely than not, 720 at best. And they use these gas bulbs, to get the picture bright enough, but they, they're not like LEDs. They generate heat. And if you put, it's like you put an old school spotlight inside a cabin, it's going to overheat like a motherfucker.
So yeah, they those are the original HIDs on luxury cars from the early 2000s. They got extremely friggin' hot. They had their own fans in there. They was so freaking hot, and they had to have like a whole system to keep them from getting way overheated, and they needed special starters on them. And so xenon is like something you cannot have in a enclosed place.
And he had them build it behind a wall or something.
All right, we're gonna hear it. Here we go. Hang on.
Easily, let's put it that
Whether
way.
to stay in the guest bedroom forever or go back to your bedroom.
And I don't see. This is why I didn't want to get into it. You don't even want to know. You don't want to
Don't
sort
ask.
through this. There's
Don't
no
ask.
And also, I'm just living with people on top of me every day. Every day, it's just not right. And then remember, I told you the guy quoted me $9,000 to hang a television set. Had my friend come to check it out.
To hang the TV.
Hang.
He's going to do it for a couple $100. And remember, he said there was no plywood behind the thing to hang the TV.
Right. They were going to have a whole construction thing.
He looked in 2 seconds, said this the whole wall is plywood. He knew.
This is Matt and Jeff.
He knew right away. He said, they're you know what I mean? It was just like,
that makes you
so
a little...
I'm a little freaked out. Yeah. I'm a little freaked out. Yeah, so.
Because all those people who you're living with are lying to you.
Well, I don't know if they're lying, but maybe they don't know.
Who are these people he's living with?
I don't know.
The AV team.
The construction crew? Is that what he's told?
Yes. You can't.
I thought it was a staff of 30.
Exactly.
Just run a little thing across the wall. It tells you.
No, it's he got underneath his camera, took a picture up the wall. Like he couldn't see up the wall, so he took a camera picture and he said, "Oh, there's the plywood. Okay, you can just."
Oh, you're talking about plywood or a stud?
Plywood. The stud goes into the
You
plywood.
are talking about a stud.
You need plywood. You can't just go into
The
plywood.
stud goes into the plywood? Did he just say that?
Yes, that's what he said.
Wait a second.
Is he a fucking idiot?
You talking about his apartment?
Yeah, this is
It doesn't matter.
2009.
He just said
There are no plywood walls in Manhattan.
Plywood.
And you were there. You were actually in the place.
No.
Remember?
There's no plywood walls in Manhattan.
No,
That's
there was
just-
not.
It's
No. He is a 79 IQ. 100%.
they could have partitioned a room and they went cheap and charged him up the ass.
not in Howard's building. There's no way they're partitioning a room. This is This is
plywood.
Oh God. I can't
you
even imagine. I mean, I'm shocked. by this
What do you
conversation.
guys speculate? I think you'd know better than I. What is his euphemism for hang a TV? What is he really doing here with the 9,000? What's really going
He's
on?
literally hanging the freaking TV. I mean, I
Or is
seriously
it going to descend again? Is it a new dissension?
No, bro. You know what? Those guys are fucking. They know a fucking patsy when they see one.
Totally.
I remember when I first got my first projector, I went to fucking Best Buy and I said, "Hey, how much to run an HDMI cable up to my ceiling?" And the dude's like, "Oh, that's $500." I'm like,
And that dude
"Wait."
was AJ.
I go, "Wait, is that just with the cable?" No, that's just to run a cable. $500.
That was the
Those guys are
construction cost.
what?
That was the construction cost.
No, that was just to run a cable, a single cable, an HDMI cable through my wall to the top of my ceiling. They wanted $500.
Okay, so imagine walking into one of Howard's 3 penthouse apartments and needing a TV put up. Now, who knows how big the TV is, right? Do we know? Does that come out in this conversation?
I mean, listen, I actually remember at the time, I looked it up. I looked up that TV. It was a monster, probably weighed a couple 100 pounds.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing that. I mean, I'll try to look it up tonight and send you a link. This is like a million years ago. And yeah, no, legit, that TV was crazy expensive. And
you see what Mike's last name is saying, Xavier? They might mount the plywood to the studs so that they have a bigger surface area to mount all the components to. That I understand. So if they had to put a piece of wood into the studs to then mount the other,
That's not what he was saying, though.
Yeah, that's not what he was saying either.
That was not what he was saying.
I don't think he knows what he's saying.
No,
he doesn't know what he's saying. He doesn't.
Know. All right, let's listen.
He's like that. He's like that dude back in the 70s and 80s. That the car would stop working. He would just open the hood and just stare at the engine, hoping there's just a gigantic button that says push this.
Exactly.
He doesn't know. He doesn't. And absolutely, you cannot just put a TV that heavy on plywood. It has to be on a stud, or else it's gonna fall the fuck down.
Well, no,
they designed those TV mounts for that specific purpose.
Of course, but
they go
did they back in 2009? Yes, I'm sure they did. I remember having that.
And what Rupert Pumpkin says here is because Monique, you've been there a few times. Howard does not live. He lives in a post-2000 building, more or less, not a 1900 tenement.
Exactly.
Or brownstone.
And even
exactly
those,
right.
by the way, are built so fucking well. Like those walls are plaster, really thick fucking plaster.
They're built to do easy shit with.
But even then, there's structural integrity of like plaster.
Oh,
I mean, you can use some molly bolts or something like that to help support it, but eventually that shit's gonna fucking fall.
Yeah, but guess what? Anybody worth their weight who installs TVs knows exactly what they're doing. Like they know.
Yeah, they're ripping off an old queen.
And so funny because you know what? Anybody will tell you. I remember in my last apartment, Xavier, as you know, I was trying to hook this TV up onto the wall.
I remember.
The first question they ask you is, what's the configuration? What's the configuration on the back of the TV? So, right. So there's like a V configuration, like X, XY or something like that. And they're all different. Every one of them is different. And it's like, how big is the TV? How much does it weigh? And they will instantly tell you on the phone, this is the mount that you need. And this is what we're going to have to do in order to put it into the wall. Like everybody who knows what they're doing knows how to do this. It's just so stupid to me.
And the best part is there's a YouTube video for everything now.
Of course.
It's literally as simple as a YouTube video.
I mean, if we're talking about
very expensive TV
now technology, you don't even need any of that. Just buy a laser TV. It's a short throw projector that sits 6 inches from your wall. They'll give you 150-inch screen with no problem.
Yeah, sure. He's been pushing me to get that one. All right, let's listen.
You should.
I know.
Needless to say, whatever needs to make this a few $100s
is there.
You don't have to peel off any wallpaper.
You got him, Howard. You got him.
So it's getting me very, very upset and very depressed. And I'm just angry. So I come to work angry,
Right.
And then I got to make.
Wait.
Yeah.
You come to work? He's at home.
Yeah.
No, this is 2009, babe.
Oh, I remember.
Oh, okay. My bad.
$1 job to hang a TV. It turns out it's a couple of $100s.
Right. Like, yeah, it's $9,000 because you guys keep making mistakes.
$9,000. I mean, You built the apartment. You don't know that if there's plywood or whatever it is, some sort of beam or wood
It's called a
fine.
Who built the apartment?
You know.
The build out.
You
Someone's
guys,
gonna
the build
charge
out.
$9,000.
you got guys
I
who
built
don't-
the apartment from the ground up.
Yeah, well, yeah, there is a $9,000 roof. And then I got pissed off because I got an email and
Listen.
one guy saying to me, "Well, you want me to go see if I can negotiate a 10% cut in price? That would be $8,100,
Right.
You know,
of $100 job.
yeah, of $100 job. I go, no, I think I'll go another route. I'll do it this way.
I'll find a way on my own.
Anyway, so you know, it made me very, very nuts.
You've got a wonderful place, I'm sure.
It's wonderful. The work is wonderful. It's really great. And you know, and in about
But all
7
of the
years, when
work-
it's all done, I'll be very happy.
And then it'll be like, well beyond its longevity.
And you won't
And
use
now
it.
he hasn't used that place in what, 2 years now?
Yeah.
3
Real.
years? There, yeah.
Well,
That was the origin of Matt and Jeff too, Monique. That's where these AV guys. I think that was the first time he.
Same guys.
Yes, and I think he claimed to. How did he word it today? He said these guys I've
That
used
work in the back.
that work in the back, and
Yes.
they were supposedly in the background, and they wouldn't. He's trying to talk to them, and I
He
couldn't.
couldn't come on the air.
He couldn't come on.
Well, he
the AV
expected
guys
to be
couldn't
right
figure out how to-
there for him to talk to, and he wasn't because he wasn't set up for it. All right, so we're gonna move on a little
Monique,
bit.
I'm sorry. One last thing, and I want to because Xavier's here. Xavier, and I didn't see this thread until too late. A lot of times I get internet depression where I don't look at stuff until way too late.
Yeah.
Xavier connected the dots of exactly where Howard is broadcasting from the fucking bowling alley pictures that Gary Puppet got off the website to the tile that he showed. And you can't pull it up now, but I think it was a masterful thing he did. And because it's all looks different when it's all zoomed in, but
Yes.
The
That's
basement
the room that's supposed to
Right.
be the wine. That was the wine cellar that was built into the basement of his
Well,
house.
you know what's really funny?
Mm.
After I posted that for the second time, the next day that's when he was talking about he's coming downstairs to work.
Right.
It's like it's almost like he's a broken man. Like, okay.
Yep. And then you see what that looks like with the, and that's literally where the bowling alley is, and all the tchotchkes and the fake guitars and all that. We've seen the photos a million times.
Gotta move on.
I was so tired last night. I'm waiting for my wife. She was doing her cat rounds where she helps all the cats we're fostering. I get into bed. I'm watching She-Hulk, which is, I love She-Hulk. I do. And I find
You like everything good.
I love it. I love it.
I don't understand how this guy is loving She-Hulk. I don't think he's watched anything other than The Mandalorian since Disney Plus is in existence.
He loves Dawson's Creek and hates Curb Your Enthusiasm. That's how.
She-Hulk with the whopping, was it 18% on Rotten Tomatoes? I mean, it is absolutely hated.
Rotten potatoes.
You can't find anybody that is a real person that actually likes.
Dennis, they actually
that show.
changed it. It's Rotten Frozen Bananas now.
Rotten Frozen Bananas. I watch YouTube people that review it. It is a steamy pile of trash.
What do you expect from Howard, Dennis? Look at that
I
IQ.
know, he only likes
79 IQ. Yeah.
Well, it's the only show he can relate to. It's a 8-foot tall person in a dress.
That's
Yep.
It looks
that gets
just like
angry
him.
for no reason.
It literally is him.
Up, Beanie Mac checking in. I'm
He's
not
one of the
gonna lie.
18%.
I like She-Hulk.
It's okay, Beanie Mac.
It's fine.
It's campy. It's campy.
Oh, you
I've seen a couple episodes. It's
You got your
campy.
TV hung for $75. It's all right.
Xavier, have you watched it?
I've seen a couple episodes.
And
it's campy. It's campy as fuck. That's all you can say about it.
Miss Marvel, and I really, really enjoyed it. Not gonna lie.
Jesus Christ! I had to unfriend you. Oh my God!
I really enjoyed it. I
spelled.
I thought that they really kind of showed the Pakistani Muslim community in a very, very good,
Jesus
positive
Christ.
light. I mean, it was very
Girl gets her powers, immediately knows how to use them, has no arc, immediately
there is no arc,
super
I
and
know.
better than everybody else, and always wins and
Okay,
never
so
ever has.
somebody else watched it as well, Mr. I'm gonna unfriend you, because who would know that if they didn't watch it?
I watched the reviewers, the critical drinker ruined the entire thing, so I don't have to watch it.
Dennis likes to
It's
hate watch
garbage.
shit.
He likes to hate watch. Millennium Tower was completed in 1994. That doesn't mean that it was made of plywood. Any way we look at it,
Nothing's made of plywood.
he just doesn't know what
Plywood.
he's talking about. Okay, so let's move on. And this was like a really weird thing that never went further than this comment. And so let's talk about it.
My wife, God bless her, didn't disturb me. I woke up. I usually
You
I'm
slept
wide
through
awake.
the night?
Oh, well, I pished twice, but the alarm had to wake me. I was so, this morning I'm so exhausted from all of this. I mean, and Beth said I was screaming in my sleep, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. She said, I don't know. Yeah. She said, I was screaming, I'm going to kill you. She goes,
wow.
I'm going to kill you.
He was dreaming about his heterosexuality.
Okay,
So
can we figure that out?
The investment must have heard that on the baby monitor as it was posted in the thread, because there's no way it's in the same room as him.
You know how much money I have invested in you?
Yeah, the investment.
Investment.
Well, somebody said, "Oh, that's what it was on your thing." Is that somebody said it was on the baby monitor? That's
Yeah, exactly. That's right. That's exactly.
That's where she heard that. But what's that about? What is that about?
If you can lie about real life, do you think he's going to tell the truth about dreams? What better opportunity to lie than your dreams?
Kill you.
Okay, let's move on.
I think that what he was dreaming about is any lingering thoughts of heterosexuality.
Pretty much over. Okay,
When you're sleeping 18 hours a day, you're gonna dream once in a while.
He's gonna tell us about,
transcendental.
he tells us about the work he's doing over the weekend.
I was painting away.
Free time.
Well,
This was kind of interesting. I put it up there in the guise of he was working really hard to figure out the Drew Barrymore gala date that he's going to be doing. But it's just so weird how Robin insinuates herself into what he's painting. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Just listen.
I was talking to Robin. She is my muse, as you know. Most of America knows.
Racial beard.
What he paints. Old barns.
Yeah.
So
you inspired me.
I thought it was your father that inspired you. I thought the whole reason that you told us that your father died was to let us know that you were painting old barns because your father and the fragility of life and how things go and how and P.S. Ben died.
Maybe Robin inspires it because she's a big fat cow.
and fitting because listening to the show is
and so that's why
Robin is his moose.
Well, I think what it really is he likes to say that to dying people.
Yes.
Well, also fitting too because
canary in the cave of lies. Oh, that's delicious. God damn it, David. You are just brilliant wordsmith. Just really.
When he was with Herman Melville, he really helped.
Exactly. All right, let's finish this clip.
Been working over the weekend on the Drew Barrymore dating game.
Oh, really? Are
Yeah.
you still looking for candidates?
Well, I've got an overload of candidates, but I want to get the right ones. I gotta make
Okay.
sure.
So you're still checking what references? And...
Well, I've selected 3 already.
Here's the big reason
but
that he's going
I'm maybe
to this.
even going to go for a 4th
because
I really do want her to find love. Because that'd be a good story, all of a sudden, hey, Drew Barrymore gets married from the Howard Stern show.
Right. That's what he's. That's what he's looking for.
This is the same chick that married Tom Green.
Oh
yeah.
Did we forget that?
Yes.
I got a candidate. How about Matt Lauer?
No.
No. Let's not gloss over the Tom Green thing. She literally
that's pretty
married the
bad.
most repulsive bottom of the food chain guy, and now he thinks that if she gets married to the Howard Stern show, that's gonna be some sort of fucking coup.
That's going to be a feather in his cap. Yes, that's exactly.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, you know what? She was probably only seconds away from marrying Pauly Shore from a rebound after
Exactly.
that. Give me a
Remember,
break.
This is the same girl that flashed Letterman just out of the blue.
Well,
Just
that was the
because.
best thing she ever did.
Not how many times Drew Barrymore's been married. This guy's saying she's been married like
Is it
6?
6?
No, that's probably a little bit over the line.
She was a drunk by the time she was 12.
Yeah, well, hey.
Making decisions isn't her forte.
Yeah.
Good
No,
decisions.
not really.
John calls my mother Jade Barrymore, so there's that.
She is. I got a couple of candidates. How about Matt Lauer for the game, Howard? Your buddy Matt Lauer.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not bringing. Are you single? Right?
3 times. Only married 3 times.
All right, so I'm
Oof.
gonna move on a little bit because
Jesus.
I have to play this.
Tom Green and Will Koppelman? Oh my God! Wow.
What?
She married Seth Green, and Will Koppelman was the rebound guy.
I don't know who that is.
I think he's
Dennis
a
Rodman,
bad
right,
actor.
Dennis?
Okay,
What?
I'm moving into promos for a new bit, a phony phone call that they're going to be playing.
Jesus.
So after I recorded this, 3 more came after this. So this is what the crew of 70 is doing in the back. They're taking something that's probably going to be a horrific phony phone call and turning it into a 2-day event. So here's part 1 of that.
All right.
I'm sorry.
I want you to hear this.
Coming soon to the Howard Stern Show.
Oh, the humanity.
The most disgusting, shocking, depraved phony phone call of all time.
I heard you dig fisting? I pretty much live for it, yeah. Well, that's great, because I dig out colons. Fuck yeah.
Flirty Gary is
Fisty G.
Fisty Gary.
Fisty Gary. Fisty Gary.
In Fisty Gary Calls a Fister, a 2-part phony phone call event. Coming soon to the Howard Stern Show.
If you let me fist your colon, I'll make it nice and swollen.
Is this like part of early October?
It sounds like October. Because remember, October starts next Wednesday.
In 2 weeks. We're like 13 days away from
2 weeks. Okay. Can we
Yeah.
just discuss? So this wasn't the
even.
only one, though. There were 3 more commercials just like this. And you have to stop looking at your watch. If you have to leave, then you leave, sir. But stop looking at your
I
watch.
wasn't looking at my watch. I was
You're
getting a message.
constantly looking at your watch.
I think he wants to go to McDowell's. He's hungry.
How'd you know?
So of course, everybody in the comments in the chat were like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me! There's no way we're gonna watch like a 2-part. There's gonna be a 2-part thing on this." So of course, we're probably gonna ask the question.
We have never done a 2-part phony phone call over 2 days, but this one is so vile, so disgusting.
What do you mean?
Wait, what? Stop for a second. Didn't they do the Steve Lanford practical joke over the course of like years?
Yeah.
And so he's saying, so now he's bragging about a 2-day event. Is that the?
It's a
that's what we're
2-day
supposed to
phony
believe?
phone call about fisting. Okay.
Yeah, but
Fisting
isn't
phony
the whole point of the Steve Langford thing is that was an ongoing thing for weeks and weeks and months and years, and now like, oh, we're doing a 2-day. Oh, okay. So what happened to the whole Steve Langford and what's his name? That singing guy, whatever the fuck his name is.
Who? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Oh,
Steve Langford has a huge penis. That guy.
What about him?
Sour shoes?
Sour shoes, yeah. Like, well, they did that phone call over the course of fucking forever. And so now he's saying, we've never done a 2-day. Yeah, you've done one longer. You just forgot
it's
about it.
Fisting. I mean, come on.
Truckers love fisting. They actually did. They did a whole bunch of surveys.
Are we still buying that prank calls exist? As per the FCC in 2008, he has to call the guy first and tell him Gary Delabate is going to be pranking you in 5 minutes.
Gary talked about it already.
If he's talked about it. So it's obviously somebody in the back.
Yeah.
This is so retarded. We're even
entertaining
this or giving it credence, or prank calls are not even legal.
No, well, Gary confessed to that everything that has to be released. So there is no freak.
We played a clip in back 15 years ago. That was the case.
It's still the case now.
Yeah, I know. It's not changing.
One thing you guys don't, whenever you watch a TV show where they're talking on the phone, they have to hit a button, and the button says, the following conversation is being recorded for broadcast purposes. If you consent, please continue.
Well, in New York, it is a one-party law. It's
yes, but to record it. But if you're going to broadcast it, you still need to release it.
Well, no, that's what I was saying to you earlier, that they then have to call the person back and say, okay, we just recorded that for broadcast. Do we have your permission to play it?
Normally, it's the other way around. You have to tell them ahead of time.
Ahead of time. Gary Delabate is going to be prank calling you. Go along
well, they probably it's probably not even that. It probably says the following conversation is going to be recorded for broadcast on the Howard Stern Show. Right. If you consent, say okay or continue.
Okay, I will believe you guys on this. I don't know enough about it, and I really
I'll
wish
send
I
you
know
two
everything
clips
about it.
tomorrow, Monique.
But
Where
you don't know
Opie
about the New
talks
York
about it.
law, so I'm just hoping
No,
that
no, baby. What you're talking about is
Baby,
wiretapping and recording.
baby.
And it's one thing if I record you, it's a one-party state. I don't have to really disclose that to you as long as one party knows that it's being recorded.
Look,
if I'm
you-
going to broadcast
it
it,
really said- look
it's a
what it
different.
really says. In New York City, it's after. The guys from Impractical Jokers talk about this on their podcast.
Yeah, but then you're wasting your time.
Well, is right. Opie does too.
A
And Opie says you gotta call
legitimate
for it.
production company is not going to waste their time with a bit that isn't going to be airable.
They do not need a prank call release if the call was aired over radio waves or broadcast over the internet. All right, so we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're not gonna argue about
I
it.
got two.
We're not going to argue about it. We're just going to get to the bottom of it. We'll phone a friend. I'll call Tim tomorrow. I'm curious as to what the actual. Yes, Jackie Chair is gone. He had to do an Irish exit. So this clip. Here we go.
I'd run part 1 on one day and part 2 maybe on a following day, or maybe even give people a week to recover from this disgusting fisty Gary special.
Yeah, so he's so excited about it. He's so excited about fisting. He's so excited about this being a special that they're going to be releasing. And it's quite honestly disgusting. I don't think anybody cares. Okay, after that, I just wanted to play this, and you guys let me know if you think that this was a dump of some sort. This was them talking about Prince.
David
What do you say?
somewhere in Florida, a driveway is being hosed down.
In the dark.
In the dark.
To get done. So just let me know if you think this was a dump. I have no idea what he was trying to say, but I can just assume.
The entire royal family, even that Schmenrick Prince Andrew, who got into so much trouble hanging out with Epstein, they kind of banished him. Prince schmuck, he fucking blew it.
Did you hear that?
There was a dump. Definitely something. Definitely.
Definitely dump, right? It's a
This
dump.
is schmuck.
And you're talking about Epstein. So.
Exactly.
That's way too Wigger is flying too close to the sun.
Exactly.
There's so many Epstein tie-ins to Howard. The Ian Halpern thing you did, Monique. I haven't listened to that in full, but that was pretty much he wrote a lot of tie-ins to Howard and Epstein, right? What did you believe from that, and what did you find farcical? That's how Michaels would say.
The problem is that I'm never really sure what is really, because Ian likes to talk about a lot of things that he heard from, or I talked about, or we said something, and blah 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 blah. But he never really gives you the basis for what he's saying. Like,
What are
he
your
never
sources?
says, I was told by
Right.
Jeffrey Epstein's cleaning woman that he had. You know what I mean? He doesn't.
Yes. No. There's no. What do they say in the card catalog? The index of your sources. What the euphemism for? I'm blanking again on it.
Is what
Quoting your sources. You're quoting your geez, the other word for sources in a book.
Informants.
I don't want to.
Sources. We get what you're saying, man. Yeah, he doesn't want to give away. He doesn't want to give away the goods. He doesn't want to. He's got informants or whatever, and he doesn't want to put them on the spot where now they're going to be held for liable.
Okay, well, people want to hear it again, so let me just play it again, and everybody start it so that we can hear it in its fullness and see what it was.
The entire royal family, even that Schmenrick Prince Andrew, who got into so much trouble hanging out with Epstein, they kind of banished him. Prince schmuck, he fucking blew a great thing.
Did he butcher his own Yiddish? Is it Schmedrick, or is that not the way you say it? Schmendrick. Did he? It sounded like he butchered his own Yiddish.
I probably did.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yes, so there was a dump. It was an Epstein weird kind of dump. He never mentions Epstein. So it's actually, he probably said something he shouldn't have and took it out while he was still talking. I don't know. It was kind of weird. All right, let's move on. So I found this was really kind of Schwarze.
He goes right. We talk about Yiddish. He goes right to the. We're Jews. We can say the N word. We can say Schwarze. We're Jews. That's okay.
I want to talk about some fan feedback. which I just found this kind of humorous. It's only 15 seconds, so here.
A lot of fans took the time to write us. I thought I'd mention a couple of these tweets and letters.
No, you didn't. No, you don't mention tweets. You want to know why? Because nobody tweets you. You want to know why? Because you don't let anybody fucking tweet you.
Nor do you let anybody talk to your guests, which proves the show
Nobody
doesn't
talks
need
to your
to be.
guests. Nobody
Yep.
tweets you. Nobody asks any questions. Let's take a look at the Howard Stern Twitter sphere. I'm just curious to see how it looks on any kind of, because I don't even pay attention to it anymore. I kind of just scroll right past it.
Why would you?
No, I know, no kidding. I'm just saying that the way it looks is just so pathetic. It's just really pathetic. Hold on, let me just log it in here. Give me a second, please.
Like
Yeah,
the Vatican tweets more than they do.
Yeah, no shit. That's exactly right here. So let's look at what that looks like. Hang on, guys. I'm going to share my stream with you. Give me a second.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, he dropped the N from Schmendrick.
Schmendrick.
It just fucked up his own.
Okay, here we are on Twitter. You there?
Yep.
Okay, there's John Hambone. So let's take a look-see at this. Hold on, let me make it a little bigger for us. Give me a second. Here you go. 115 likes, 9 retweets, 0 comments. 30
Shocking.
likes, 5 retweets, 0 comments.
30.
Bell Beefus Monique writes that it's actually Fred writing fake emails, and the only thing he knows how to write is "There you go, there you go."
I believe that completely. Look at this. 15 hours ago today, John Hamm makes his Stern Show debut. Okay, 131 likes, 21 retweets.
God damn, it's 15 hours ago.
87, 8.
Power of Stern.
0.
$4,000. Bye bye Barstool. Bye bye Pat McAfee for
They're trying to be
35
like very
likes.
topical. They're trying to be very current. We're putting all these little hit clips up here. 4,400 views. John Hamm talks love, marriage, and underwear. Yeah, 163.
Melvin, write that down. Courant.
0. Okront. It's Okront. It's Okront. David Bowie made a surprise appearance in 1998. Yeah, we know how that
God,
went.
they're getting so much mileage out of that fucking Bowie song. God damn it, the birthday show. He talked to him for 3 seconds. They're still parked on that. It is
Oh, I love
crazy
when
how much
I love when people come on and just have like random shit here. Ask them why they won't talk about where John Hine went and tell them it's really fucking odd too. Yeah, so
I will say this, Monique, and I don't know if it was you that got this out of Brent or perhaps Sabian, or it was somebody you spoke, maybe Scott, that we found out that is John Hine's role is to write. That's why Howard's interviews are so automaton-esque and so banal and so by the numbers. It's actually John Hine that writes the questions for the interview. That's his sole job now on the show. That's his main purpose.
No,
So
he
we
got
talked about
promoted. He got
no, but
promoted.
his main role is to write questions for the guest.
Okay, I'm just hoping you're all looking at all the comments. Rosie O'Donnell, 55 likes, 3 retweets.
Wow.
0 comments.
I call bullshit.
And so when you go there, who can reply? Only people at Stern Show follows or mention can reply.
You know, when you're blocking 75% of your audience, there's gonna be nobody retweeting you.
75, try like 90.
Maybe 90%, right?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I'm curious who the Stern Show follows. Jillian Barbary, Dr. Ivan.
There's some heavy hitters.
Shuli.
This is the A-list.
Dr. Ivan. The guy from Stern Fan Networks.
We did a show with him that got lost. It was about this. Yeah.
They follow him.
Yep.
Like they're all people that they work with. Medicated Pete.
Imagine Dragons.
Jeff the Drunk, Captain Jenks, Lisa G. I mean, it's so fucking funny. That's it.
Dance Papers.
Dance Papers.
Captain Jenks hasn't been on the show in what, 15 years?
Oh my God.
He called in a few years ago to out himself, which is what you do when you're a whackpacker. You got to be gay now. Gary Shanley.
But that's when that other dude was alive.
Yep.
The fact that when all of them started coming out all of a sudden.
Thor. He follows Thor, Black Panther, Crimson.
Gary Shandling, Katie Couric, Thor.
Gary Shandling's been dead for 10 years.
WandaVision, Doctor Strange, Marvel. Look at this. Kevin Feige. Marvel Studios.
Do they
Borat.
follow any non-blue check marks? Oh, Hansville Ham. So
Yeah.
everyone's verified to some extent.
This is like a list. Like this is like GeoCities. That's not even MySpace.
GeoCities.
I'm not joking, man.
That had the Commodore 64 font with the green and the black.
Exactly.
So does anybody want to tell me exactly what tweets they were like retweeting there? Anybody know what the fuck he's talking
The ones
about?
in his dreams.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's listen. Let's move on and talk about Robin's stupidity, because this just had me kind of shocked and awed.
I didn't know this, but that's the highest rated thing on television, regular television, is football.
By the way,
And
Robin,
so they can command whatever they want.
I didn't know this. Did you know? Did you know that football is high ranking on TV?
No, I didn't know that.
What's football? I have
I
no
thought,
idea.
I thought the WNBA ran sports now. We got next.
I didn't. I
thought that
did
was the
not
top.
know this. I did not know that football.
That's why Brittany
was-
Griner is such a big deal.
Like literally for like over a decade, they used to do the Super Bowl gambling thing. And
Yeah.
they will eventually talk about the ratings at some point.
Yes.
Which died once Kitten Bowl became a thing.
Yes.
How the fuck did she not put 1 + 1 together? And when they talked about these gigantic ratings on the NFL, what did she think that friend reruns get 200 million views of fucking
Exactly.
a show? What the fuck? Is she that stupid?
No, she loves not knowing. They do.
It's scathing commentary like that.
Yeah.
That she's so tapped into the zeitgeist that can afford John Malone to pay her $15 million a year.
No,
Yeah, well,
he's earning every cent of it.
But you know what? You know what? Now that I really think about it, because I remember the Stern show used to be all about gambling on the Super Bowl and all these exotic bets and all this other shit. The second Kitten Bowl became a thing, completely, they don't talk about the Super Bowl anymore. I completely, because you know the year that the Kitten Bowl came behind fucking a goldfish feed. That's
well,
when
that's
it all
that's
died.
in line with Sirius's ratings, X. That's where you're not gonna we're not gonna look up the ratings for the Kitten Bowl versus Sirius's listenership.
But by the way, they made an
are-
announcement about like 8 months ago that the Kitten Bowl was moving to the fucking paper mache channel or some shit like that.
Exactly.
The paper mache.
3 o'clock in the morning.
And you know what?
During
A
halftime.
couple of weeks ago, I looked it up because traditionally the Kitten Bowl was filmed like in October-ish, you know,
That's
give or take a few weeks.
Right.
And it was always pre-taped.
Oh, is it that pre-tape? Really, 2 months?
Yeah,
ago?
yeah, yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
It
Wow,
was-
it makes
the Kitten
that
Bowl-
makes sense.
The
to
Kitten
them.
Bowl was always pre-taped sometime in the fall, and then it was aired in January, February under the pretense that it's live. And I always made a point.
that all those cats are available for adoption.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that they went on, like, you know, you have a 4-month-old kitten that now is like about a year old by the time that thing airs.
Exactly.
It's just so fun, and they just lie about it. Like, you listen, if you're trying to push a cat, that's cool. But the fact that they're so fucking deceitful about that shit is just hysterical. But a couple of weeks ago, I looked that up with, hey, if they're gonna renew the Kitten Bowl, they got to be in pre-production by now, and
If
nothing.
they
Not
knew it. Didn't they not do it last year? And why?
they didn't. They didn't. But the guy who used to run the fucking Hallmark Channel started his own fucking basket weaving channel or some shit like that.
Right.
And he said he's going to continue the Kitten Bowl, but that's it. Ever since that press release, not one stitch of fucking news.
Okay, so nothing about that. You're right, David. It's going to be on ESPN3 at 2 a.m. right after competitive rubber.
Oh, that's not even
I
that.
thought you weren't a sports fan, David. You watching ESPN3 2 a.m. I forget Beth. I think Kara Losden's doing the Lord's work.
Dude, that shit's so fucking dead. Not even like Telemundo in Ingles is gonna fucking broadcast that.
The EpiPen Bowl. Kara
EpiPen
Losden is
Bowl.
the new Beth, Monique.
Who?
Kara Losden is the new Beth. Hi, everyone. There's a stray cat in New York City, and I don't mean Brian Setzer that needs to be adopted. My cat is elderly and would not tolerate stress. This is not a prank. This is totally serious. Okay, Kara.
Laura, what are you talking about? Why don't you come onto the website at RadioGunk.com in the forum section, and you can post about a kitten if you have something available. We'd be more than happy to help you with that.
A gentleman named Gary Puppet would love to adopt him.
Love to open his arms. His head is a bird killer, just so you know. Okay, so this is my last thing that I have in tapes for tonight, and then I have Lila Arcieri exposes Millennium Tower Protocol, which I'm looking forward to. But again, he went on about the EpiPen, and so now the new story is that he carries the EpiPen for her because she won't carry it, and the story is not important at all. The compilation is. Here we go.
Show about nothing.
Yeah, here we go.
And I was like, honey, I'm going to carry the EpiPen. I take the EpiPen out of my, showing her my EpiPen. I say, honey, look, the EpiPen. She needs to know I have the EpiPen. To do is say EpiPen. But I mean, why isn't she in love with me more for carrying the EpiPen? It's kind of both. You know, I have to remember to put the EpiPen back. Yeah, it's a responsibility, this EpiPen. And I'm willing, if I take it out and just show her the fucking EpiPen, she goes,
why are
like,
you
no
playing
sense of
with the
humor.
EpiPen?
I took the EpiPen out of my pocket. I took out the EpiPen, but how can you see that? She goes berserk with this EpiPen. Does anyone have an EpiPen? And I just...
That's what I felt like after making that.
Okay.
Paola.
Can I say, how are you carrying something when you never leave the fucking house?
They go for a walk every day after.
Oh, bullshit. He might as well say, oh, I'm carrying a wolf stove for her, because they never go anywhere. They're never more than 10 feet away from wherever the fuck that pen is.
Does Howard drink Heineken X? What a product placement. It doesn't matter what you do with it. As long as you say it 600 times.
They go for walks. Do you really believe they go for walks, bro?
It's not a product placement, because an EpiPen is a necessity for people who really have problems. You know what I mean? So there's no need to say, oh, let me see. Is there a choice between EpiPen and ProPen? No, it's just fucking EpiPen. That's all there is.
Okay. Okay. Take him at his word. Do you believe he has the fucking gumption to give her a shot? No. Is it going to be like fucking Pulp Fiction where they stab her in the sternum with it?
He wouldn't jump into 4 feet of water to save Bianca.
Exactly.
He went on and on about that today. He went on and on about how, he doesn't even know how to use the EpiPen. What do I do if there's a problem with the EpiPen? EpiPen. It was just like, it's like, oh my God. And he went on for about 40 minutes like this. And you're like, shut up. Just shut up about the EpiPen. Nobody cares. But it just shows you how fucking psychotic he is.
There's no question Beth hates him, chat. I mean, to take the lifestyle away, it's the only thing she likes about him is he gives her that access to the Hamptons elite. But other than that, I think she hates every single thing about him. I agree with you.
Every single thing.
What's to like? He has no qualities. He has zero qualities. It's hard to have no qualities. He manages to do that.
She is so done with him. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Hang on. I just want to show you something really quickly. Just give me a second. I have it with me. Hang on. All right, here we go. Ready? Hang on. Okay, just so Howard, so that Howard, you stupid fucking mongoloid. So you know how to use an EpiPen. I'm going to show you really quickly. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Ready? Only if you're ready now.
Injector, I don't have a case to show you. Place the auto-ejector in the palm of your hand and wrap your hand around it like a fist. Do not put your fingers or thumb or hand on either end of the auto-injector. Place the orange end of the auto-injector near the middle of the outer part of your thigh.
You can't miss on this one.
Remove the blue safety cap by going straight up. If you do not remove the blue cap, the auto-injector will not work. Swing and push the auto-injector firmly on the thigh until you hear a click. The click means the injection has started. You may feel some pressure from the auto-injector pushing back.
That's it.
This is expected because the auto-injector is under pressure. You want to hold it tightly and firmly in place for 3 seconds.
Done. Okay, done. End of story. Pull it out. Done. That's it. He went on for 45 minutes. about not knowing how to use the EpiPen and what happens if she gets stung by a bee again, and he has to use the EpiPen, and what is he going to do about it?
There was nothing going to deter him from spending 45 minutes on it. It doesn't matter how boring it is. Doesn't matter how irrelevant. He's going to spend 45 minutes on it because that's what he has written down in his little stupid bullet points. I like Pell Hill and Two Master. Bethy spend.
Pen.
This broken. Classic Affy. That was Laura Lackner, Howard's assistant. Video.
Oh my God.
Weren't they supposed to post the picture of her foot?
Never
What happened
did.
to that?
Never happened. Never
Shocking.
happened.
Shocking.
Dr. Arm this fall on NBC. There are no silent partners in saving lives.
And that'll last longer than the sun on the beach.
Is that on Ozempic? If she has an EpiPen, yeah, no shit, Chaka. I don't think she's on Ozempic. I don't think she has a fat morsel to spare at this point. She really doesn't. So funny. So just so you guys know, I did receive my Animal League calendar, and I'm completely planning on using it at some point in the near future. So I was showing Xavier a picture. Literally, I took a picture of January, right? And within a minute of me sending it to him, we found like 6 things wrong with the picture. I cannot wait to share with you what a monstrous disaster of a calendar we have from North Shore Animal League this year.
Who do you think vets, and no pun intended, and looks at this calendar before it's released? How many people is it filtered through before it's actually sent?
Not enough.
Not
enough.
Not enough. Bro, and not only that, can we talk about the thing we discovered, the website? Mo, or do you want to save that?
Yeah, can we say we have to save it? So anyway, the guy, the guy who did take the pictures is very much like a Hamptons photographer.
Well, so, that's what I meant.
And these people hire him. I don't want to say the name of it yet, but these people hire him to take self pictures of them. Like the one you sent me today, it was like there was this woman who is exactly like they're all the same. Like all these women in the Hamptons are the same. Fake rib cage.
Yep.
Clavicles, the whole fucking thing. Like if you don't look like that, then you basically don't exist in the Hamptons.
An Andy Cohen audition for Real Housewives of
Chris wants to know, what do you mean wrong with the photo? One example, please.
Oh, bro. Okay, you know what? I'll just tell them what I told you.
Okay.
The hand that is in the calendar looks exactly like the hand at the end of War of the Worlds.
Okay, basically she has her hand around a dog, and like 2 of the 4 fingers are actually almost missing or disappear into the fucking picture. I mean, it's really some of the worst photoshopping you've ever seen in your life. And that's literally me just taking a, oh my God, look how funny this picture is. And I hadn't even like zoomed in on it or anything. I'm like, holy shit, where are her fingers? I mean, so it's just an embarrassment of riches. And I cannot wait to share it with all of you. I just have to, go through it with a fine tooth comb. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw on my Illustrator, and then you guys will be able to see it in like real time. Here, I'll show you what that looks like. Here, I'll give you a little showcase into my world here. I'm going to show you. Okay, this is what I use to make my things, pretty much every day, right? And so I have all these various pictures of Howard that are like sitting around and, different stupid stuff. So what we're going to do when we do the Beth calendar is we are going to really just go through it with a fine tooth comb and just kind of, highlight out all the stuff that's like going on and pinpoint it and shit like that.
Are these Tim Burton's lost storyboards of Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yes, that's exactly what this is. I mean, this is what I do. This is, I take out pictures and shit and whatever. And
who's that matinee idol in the middle?
This is my work in progress page. So I just save it, and then just go right over it. Oh, this thing that what's his face made of JG was fucking phenomenal. So anyway, yeah, that's exactly what I do, and so that's what we're gonna do with the calendar once we get it and together, and we'll do that. Okay. So my last clip of the night is going to be John's clip, and this is talking about Lila Arcieri. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
Which ties in with after the clip we listened to with the descending screen from 2000 and the 100-inch thing. This is cut to a year later, and Beth still isn't outed yet, and Howard's making the moves on Lila Arcieri from Son of the Beach, and she gives a very, very candid play-by-play of what she sees in the Millennium Towers and all the bells and whistles, and she talks about the TV as its finished product with all the weird, several screens and the protocol at the desk, and I kind of cut it where it's her talking to Chauncey interviewed Lila Arcieri, and she's giving what she observed at the Millennium Towers a year later.
All right, here we go, guys.
Constantly. Did you have a real date with Howard?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, I went to his
Tell me.
penthouse and had dinner.
Okay.
It wasn't anything
start
risky.
talking. You just start talking. I'll shut up. Really?
He asked me out. I was on his show, and he asked me out on a date.
See? Boom.
See, right away, that's the Montel Williams move.
Yes, Chris, thanks for pointing that out. Don't forget while you're here to like and subscribe and hit the little bell so that you know when we're doing another show. I always forget to do that when we're doing a live show. Okay, so hit like and subscribe and all that stupid stuff. Thanks.
Thank you, Chris. And Chris, one little bit of advice, and I appreciate everything that you are and do. Just please do not show football scores on the right. Virtually every single time you do that, I'm watching it after this, and I don't want to know the score.
I told you, I look like a tool.
No, but did you say come over?
She called me up and said, I said to her, I saw the rough cut of Son of the Beach. She's an actress who works on the show. She goes, God, I'd love to see it. I said, so come on over and watch. Here you go. Unless you guys have a question.
Good idea, Rupert.
Because, he's like, Lila, I want to bang you. And I was all, well. Whoa! That's interesting, but you're my boss, so I really can't.
Now she
He's the
can.
one who's backing off.
All right, let's see. Here we go.
Okay. Well, how about you have dinner with me? So I had dinner. I went to his house. He's got a beautiful...
What is this house? What is his apartment like? I can't even imagine.
Someone from IBM wired his house. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
No, he's got a 12 by 12 foot wall of just electronic things that control.
Yeah, I'm freaking Batman. She can't get the words out.
Is he trying to defend himself against?
He's trying to defend himself. Yep. He's got Jeff Schick wiring from the time we heard that last. Yep.
Exactly.
She's like,
You have
what
an
is...
impressive electronics center.
Yeah, but who needs to talk about
No,
that?
you're right.
I'll talk about that.
Well,
My humiliation.
Let's go back to the other tool.
Yeah.
His whole house. LCD screens in every room that makes shades go up and down and TVs on and off.
You know who she making you sound like?
Yeah.
Do you remember that movie with Goldie Hawn when Dudley Moore had the Bachelor pad where the bed came out of the wall?
He is that guy.
And
He is that guy.
Austin Powers.
Yeah, and
It's like
That's the bachelor pad.
it's a super bachelor pad.
Super bachelor pad.
Really?
Oh my god.
Did you get to see his bedroom?
Oh yeah, baby.
Tell me, you start talking, girl. What is his bed like? Describe his bed.
He's got a huge. I think it's a California king.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, does he have the? Does he have the? Does he have
So let me show you the apartment.
And it
Takes me
shows-
to every room of the apartment.
Right.
Shows me the kids' wing of the
Oh, he
house
did a
and,
tour.
and the
Kids'
guest
wing.
rooms.
Oh,
Kids'
blah,
wing.
blah, blah.
I bet you the kids' wing is what turned into Beth's wing.
Definitely.
I bet you that's what Girl Town turned into.
Definitely.
Kids' wing. Two of them were already like out of the house, right? I mean, no,
This is
14.
20.
No, they were younger. They were younger. Okay.
Horrible. And where did we end up?
What's is the bedroom the last room? Is it the last room?
Hello.
It's all in the house because he's wanting pictures taken, so
Yeah,
you
he gets bothered.
can't go to a restaurant. It has to be done in the house.
Yeah, so Nobu Sushi delivered a meal for like 4 people, and we ate almost all of it. It was great.
Really?
Yeah. Getting there, though, because downstairs the door, he has a fake name.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks for giving out everything.
That's killer.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, even
See, that pissed me off. That's what was making me mad.
But you know what? Even
Is Mr. So-and-so available, or I'm going to visit him? They're like, and your name? Give him your name. This whole time I'm feeling like,
Yeah, so I have a
No. Was there a second date?
I don't think I'm supposed to comment on that.
He's with Beth at this time, but he won't talk about it.
I love the
She's right
fake
around the
name. How
Yep.
fucking pretentious is that?
That's so great.
It's your
Like
own doorman.
Yes.
Like, it's not a hotel. It's your doorman. They know they know everything about you. Everything. They know when you shit. They know your drug dealer. They know everything.
And if you really want to hide, you wouldn't live there, and you wouldn't live right in the center of Manhattan. And you were right there, Lincoln Square, Lincoln Center. If you really want to hide, you're not living in a building, and you're certainly not going to live in the middle of Manhattan. You're going to hide in that lower kind of Tribeca area or
Right.
Soho.
And you can hide there. I mean, you guys saw me getting lost downtown. I didn't know where the fuck I was going. He could be in any building downtown and nobody would ever see him.
Did you say in your video, Monique, there's a second wave of doormen in his level? So it's a celebrity, not a celebrity thing, but like when you get
only those like 10 floors. That's it.
right. So there's another wave of door. Is that what she's
Concierge,
talking about, or is
door
she talking
guy.
about when you walk in? She's talking about his wave.
His
the
wave.
second
You
wave.
saw
Okay.
them. I showed you guys his wave. His people are. It's a complete. It might as well be two different buildings.
Right, right. It gets white, right? Where it gets to his place, it turns white.
That's it.
Building.
Just those 10
Right.
floors. That's what they have. A full service doorman center. 3 people at the front.
Ballpark it for the chat. What do you think Nobu delivered? And back then, there was only one Nobu, right? So it's coming from downtown in Soho. And what do you think the delivery costs?
No, the
four.
57th Street one was probably there by then.
2001?
Yeah.
I thought it was later. I thought there was
Yeah,
only one at that time.
yeah, I know. We're dating ourselves now, but yeah, I think it's been there that long, and he probably paid about $400. Maybe with tip,
Yeah.
he probably tipped that. He probably paid $500 for a meal that he didn't want to go outside and be seen with her at Nobu because it's like 2 blocks away. Like, I don't understand.
I didn't put this in, but Lila says in the clip that only De Niro and Howard have they're willing to deliver it for.
Wow, he's so special. And they're not even delivering it to Howard. Who are they delivering it to? Morgan Schmendrick, right? I mean, some stupid asshole name that he uses. I bet
That's
you
right.
whatever name he uses, I could almost guarantee you that's still his fucking password on his AOL account.
Josh Foster says, I work in Tribeca right now. And it's wild how you just see celebrities walking around the street and coffee shops, blah, blah, blah. Yes, if you want to go to, everyone asks Monique about New York all the time. If you want to see celebrities, don't go to fucking Planet Hollywood. Go down to where he is in Tribeca. What is it, Monique? 7th Avenue South, and just stay on it and then sort of walk west and then kind of drift
down West Broadway. People coming out of the adjunct Bloomingdale's that's down there, which is a really cool store, and there's like just really, really fun stuff. Always like cafes. I mean, just shit like that.
It's on the far west bottom side of Manhattan. So if Madison Square, it's uptown. So this is like downtown west side, just before Wall Street.
Past 14th Street, and then really past like maybe First Street. I mean, when you're getting into like where it's all zigzaggy, where it used to be
there's no directions, right?
Points and all that shit. Lila, can I offer you my rainbow fish unagi roll? You're right, Chaka Khan. He knew he was a creeper.
It's classic casting couch shit, Chaka Khan. That's Harvey Weinstein. There's nothing more noble about this than fucking Weinstein and Heather Graham.
He's just a rich guy who wants. I can't believe he would do a tour of his apartment. That's so gauche. Really is. It's just disgusting. Like nobody does that anymore, unless it's like I don't know. I still wouldn't. I don't even think that's a thing anymore.
Yeah, but you got to remember that this is a guy whose last dating experience was what he was like, 17,
18, exactly.
This is the mad tear period.
Right. You're right. No, I don't think he gets his meals comped. I don't think so at all. He does love to glom free stuff, but I don't think he gets comped. I think they treat him as a preferred client. I mean, as you all know, that person who saw him out at Nobu, who took those pictures for me that time, said basically they walked in, they knew exactly what they were ordering. It took like 10 minutes for them to get their meal. He just drank water, and I think she had like a glass of wine. They ate their sushi, which was just sashimi, so no rice, and they went home. And the entire experience was not even like a half hour. And that's the way he goes out. Just like his dad. He needs to know what he's ordering before he walks in the door. He makes sure that it gets there, in a decent amount of time, and he leaves. And that's all he does. Yeah, it's pretty fucking disgusting. Truly. That's our guy. Okay, so that's Monday for you, and it was pretty uneventful as a general rule. So we will try again tomorrow to see if there's anything we can mine. And yeah. Oh yeah, so my interview with Yuzi is
Yeah,
up.
right.
So if you go to Yuzi, which is spelled HUGHEZY, Yuzi, you'll see my interview with him, and we talk about Jenna Jameson, and he's very into porn, so we talked a little bit about
Bro, not to say that guy had too many commercials, but at one point I gave up and I just assumed you were the manscaping dude.
I know, it's kind
a
of
little advice for the gunkers out there. It's okay if you fast forward at 15 minutes. You're not going to miss one thing.
Yeah.
He'll be talking about fucking Postmates, or like the dude has like fucking, remember the Stern when you would leave for work and the commercials would start and you knew
25 minutes.
You knew you wouldn't get to work and you'd still be listening to commercials.
Oh my
Same
God,
thing
so
with this cat.
true. It's so true. I used to time myself on the train to when the commercials were going to start, and odds are that I would at least be only maybe 5 minutes behind by the time I got to work.
If that.
On the commercials he used.
You remember David Spade told Howard he drove from Arizona to LA during a commercial break.
I believe it.
Bell Beavis arm.
Buzzcocks.
Now. All right, we will end the show with Buzzcocks. Oh wait, Monique, one thing about your interview: boldness does not come from the mother's side. That's been debunked a long time ago. And it sounded good. I don't know. The fuck do I know? But thank you. Yes, good for him for having sponsors. Better than Stuttering John. This is probably true.
Oh, bro, like the he's pretty funny kid, but fuck. It was like at least 15 minutes of commercials. At least.
Right. Okay, so let's do Buzzcocks.
And I'm pretty sure he did 2 Manscaped commercials.
Okay, go for it.
Oh God! What you have put? What is this? Whose line is it anyway? With Drew Carey? I gotta do this. All right. Let me see. I got it.
Me.
Hope they never end this song. This could take us all night long. I looked at the moon and I felt blue. Then I looked again and I saw you. Eyes like fire in the night. Bridges burning with their light. Now I wanna spend the whole night through. And honey, yes, I'd like to spend it all on you.
Beautiful.
Love.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any further discussion at RadioGunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at RadioGunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so you know when we're doing a new show. Thanks.